Welcome to the program. I'm Andrew Wilkow. We are 40 days away from the presidential election, and we have a currency that's in a downward spiral thanks to QE4, which has garnered the cute little nickname QE Forever. Vladimir Putin famously said, and I quote, "The best way to destroy the capitalist system is to debauch the currency." Isn't that exactly what we're watching the Federal Reserve do? The Fed is going to purchase $40 billion in mortgage-backed securities per month without an end date. Economist Lawrence Lindsay went on CNBC yesterday with this frightening revelation.
I think the Fed, maybe because it can't do otherwise, has told the Congress, we're going to buy your bonds no matter what. And I think that's keeping the pressure off the president. It's keeping the pressure off the Congress. And
this is not great.
It's not a good situation.
Did I say Putin? I meant Lenin. The Fed shouldn't be protecting the president. It should be protecting the currency. The effect of government using inflation as a matter of economic policy is no joke. It's literally the government playing with fire. Little history here. The Weimar Republic, hyperinflation in Germany. During the 1920s, inflation hit 29,500%, and prices were rising at a staggering 20.9% per day. Now, here's a quote from PBS, and you progressives should appreciate this. Before World War I, Germany was a prosperous country with a gold-backed currency, expanding industry, and world leadership in optics, chemicals, and machinery. The German mark, the British shilling, the French franc, and the Italian lira all had about equal value, and all were exchanged 4 or 5 to the dollar. That was in 1914. Little side number here. In 1919, it took 12 German marks to get $1 US. Back to PBS. In 1923, the most fevered moment of German hyperinflation, the exchange rate between the dollar and the mark was 1 trillion marks to the dollar. A wheelbarrow full of money wouldn't even buy a newspaper. Most Germans were taken by surprise by the financial tornado. That's from PBS. Keep that in mind. Surprise. By the end of the decade, unemployment really started to take hold in Germany. And here are the following statistics. In September 1928, 650,000 Germans were unemployed. 5 years later, 1933, 6.1 million people were unemployed. From 1932 to 1933, right around New Year's, over 30% of all German workers were unemployed. Again, let that sink in. More recently, in November 2008, for instance, inflation in Zimbabwe reached a monthly rate, and I'm trying not to laugh, and this is not a joke, 79 billion% per month. Try to add that up for the entire year. Now, that might be the extreme, but that's the real-world results of an autonomous central bank. Couple that with Barack Obama and his minions trying every trick in the book to convince you that his policies, ideas, and even his ideology with regard to economics are working out. I've got bad news for you. It's not. Whether it's trying to make you believe that he saved General Motors.
I believe in American workers. I believe in this American industry. And now the American auto industry has come roaring back. And GM's number one again.
Roaring back. Meanwhile, the stock price is less than half the value necessary for the government to break even. You know, we put in $50 billion of taxpayer money on that investment. How about the fact that GM sales figures are being distorted by government fleet purchases and extreme tax credits? What about the promise that Obamacare was going to cut annual health care premiums for families?
We're going to work with your employer to lower the cost of your premiums by up to $2,500 a year.
And we'll cut the cost of a typical family's health care by up to $2,500 per year.
And if you've got health care, we're going to work with your employer to lower your premiums by $2,500 per family per year.
That promise was made over and over again. But we've seen them rise by $3,000, according to Investors Business Daily. I got one for you. Where's the green energy Obama promised? Remember?
We will double the production of alternative energy in the next 3 years. We will modernize more than 75% of federal buildings and improve the energy efficiency of 2 million American homes, saving consumers and taxpayers billions on our energy bills.
So where are those green energy jobs? How about energy price relief? You know, the Keystone XL pipeline was canceled by the White House. When President Obama was sworn in, gas was $1.84 a gallon. Today, the national average is $3.79. An academic economist was brought in to save us from what Obama inherited. Then there was the grand stimulus plan that he proposed that would save the economy.
If we act with the urgency and seriousness that this moment requires, I know that we can do it again. And that is why I have moved quickly to work with my economic team and leaders of both parties on an American recovery and reinvestment plan that will immediately jumpstart job creation and long-term growth.
Truth be told, there was not a single Republican on board with the $862 billion stimulus package that was voted in by Congress and signed into law by the president. The official unemployment rate has not dipped below 8% ever since. I guess I should clarify that promise. It was more like unemployment was not supposed to rise above 8% if the government printed, borrowed, or sucked almost $1 trillion of capital out of the private sector. Obama has gone so far as to encourage defense contractors to skirt federal law by not sending out thousands of pink slips tied to layoffs that will take effect after the defense cuts kick in. 47 million people are on food stamps, and we have record dependence on welfare. You know, without exaggerating, not a single economic idea from this progressive left-wing liberal Democrat administration has worked. Not one bit, not one iota, zero. It's bad enough that unemployment is up. Energy and food prices are rising, and now this, the latest news from the Department of Commerce. And I quote, new orders for manufactured durable goods in August decreased by $30.1 billion, or 13.2%, making it the largest decrease since January of 2009.